Ladies and Germans, Happy New Year. Folks, it's 2019, but you know what that means? It's time for more Steel Division Normandy 44. I'm Connell Rick.
And I'm Rangaroo. Hello, hello, hello.
And Rang, this was almost a solo cast for you. I just choked upon my own Gatorade a
He
second ago.
almost died on
It was
Gatorade
good.
of all things.
It was close, but folks, we are here with the first match of 2019. A beautiful little one-on-one match here on Omaha. Rang, who is duking it out?
Well, on the left-hand side in blue, we have Samson playing as the 15th Scotch, and on the right-hand side, we have Sombra playing as the 12th SS.
Now, this is just your standard 1v1. There was no somebody who's like decided to take a bet for the 15 Scots or anything like that, right?
No, it's just a standard 1v1 as far as I am aware of, and it's going to be kicking off rather quickly.
Always good indeed. Surprisingly enough, we are going to see that Samson's going to bring in more than his fair share of Vickers.
Oh damn, it is quite a lot of Vickers, but does he have an Avra? I don't.
No, he doesn't have the Steward.
Oh, if he has a Steward, is an Avra is a very good unit on this map. As you've got the CQC at range, and you can blow anything up with an Avra. Even though you're fighting against more of an armored division early on against Strofe SS, you don't really have too many scary armored units in a CQC firefight to be
Very true.
scared of. I mean, you're not going to bring a Firefly out in this territory. No, that'd be silly.
You know, it was kind of an interesting positioning. We're seeing this northern anti-tank gun. I was going to say, why the heck was he not setting up on that road? And I always remember that road does not have great sightlines coming out of that town.
Yeah, you kind of got some apples in the way, or apple trees, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. Because that is a good position, apart from the trees.
Yes, yes. And you know one thing, it is hard to fight a battle, well, with apples in the way.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Just leads you to one famous question, and how do you like those apples? And oh my god, one shot and Stewart goes down.
what? Wait, that was a tight angle. Damn.
Yeah,
But
wow.
wow. One shot, one kill. Here you go. AT gun actually doing its job.
First shot of 2019, folks, you've seen it here. Pack 38 does take it out. And Samson says, okay, you know what? My hair got clipped on that side. Let's try the south.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately for him, there's another Pack 38 kind of prowling forwards.
Yeah, and southern side, he's not really going to be doing too well, just looking at what's already on the field. I mean, they've got two Panzer Grenadiers here, which will clean up all the infantry. He is bringing in a Honey Stewart, which is a good call, and some more reinforcements, as he has realised his Sombra is pushing. At the same time, that ET guns, yeah, the Pack 38, and it'll be in a rather good position.
Indeed. Nice thing, we are going to get some command actually coming here to the south. That's a nice touch here. Not so much because he's looking to take an aggressive posture. I think the Vickers, the three of them, kind of tell you more than you need to know about that already. But, actually, I'm surprised. The Scots are usually a little more of an aggressive division than this.
Yeah, he is playing wrong for defensively. I mean, usually in A-phase you have the Avro push, and I really don't like use of these Vickers guns, to be entirely honest, as with no veterancy, they're pretty pants. You're just really better off just taking more riflemen, just spamming riflemen. The classic Scottish strategy, or losing your Honey Stewart to a Pack 38.
Yeah, I was going to say, so far, there's been 4 rounds of combat here, and it's been anti-tank guns 2, tanks 0.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, Vickers falls under fire as we speak. I'm surprised. I would have thought he would have had some line of sight on those things. Guess not.
Oh. Is the Piat gonna hit? No, it completely misses. That was a terrible shot there from the Piat.
Well, it's nice to know that, you know, it might be a new year, but some things still stay the same.
Yeah.
But 12th SS, not taking a ton of territory either, but you know what? I would say that a slower play, actually, for 12th SS makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Especially in A-phase, as they don't have the eco, or really a lot of the units in A-phase to do anything too crazy, and much more of a B and C phase pusher.
Mm-hmm. A third Honey Stewart being brought on in, as is a mortar universal carrier.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of sad to a certain extent that it's taken so long. I would have liked to have seen maybe a universal carrier actually brought to the north. Would have thought it'd been maybe a little bit more advantageous to take the town as opposed to be dueling down here in the forests.
Yeah. That would have been also another good area to push. The southern attack is on the way, and it's just machine gun fire back and forth. It's really going to come down to, can Samson deal without Pack 38? Because if he can, then the honey steward can just come in and clear up shop. And the honey's in a pretty good position. It's mostly hidden from the pack gun for now.
It certainly is, but we are seeing the half-tracks shift position just out of most the honey steward range.
Which is also a smart move, yeah. Neither side wanting to lose their light vehicles for obvious reasons.
I can't imagine why.
I don't know. Like, why do you want to keep your vehicles alive? That's no fun. Blood for the blood god.
Exactly. Core doesn't care where the blood flows from.
Yeah.
We are going to get a Vortic Cromwell down to the south, so the Avra light. But that is not going to be an allied piece, obviously. One half-track does finally go down, proving the fact that the Germans can, in fact, lose units here. And I'm taking a look back to the north, and it's all quiet on the northern front.
Yeah. Everything's happening down south. And surprisingly, it was the MMG carriers that actually killed the bloody half-track, which is pretty amusing.
Oh, wow.
Machine gun fire actually did its job. I always forget, yeah, these lightly armored half-tracks can die from machine gun fire. Like, it's a real possibility. This takes a little bit.
It's just so strange to have that happen. Now, unfortunately, the Vortic Cromwell is not going to get a shot at anything so much, and here's the Spitfire. I imagine this Pack 38 finally will go down.
If he can knock it out. Oh!
Ooh.
One guy left alive. And that's going to give the honey steward a little bit of extra free reign for now. Is that Pack 38? Oh, there's another Pack 38 being brought out. Never mind.
Positioning a little bit more passive on this particular one, but it makes sense. Starting to kick off in the center here. Vickers and Scouts facing off. He's a Pigren. Yeah, nothing really to write home about.
Yeah, nothing really at all. It's just a rather static fight between both sides. It's just exchanging long-range machine gun fire, but no real crazy pushes. I mean, now Samson's got a bit of the initiative in the southern side, but he's not going to be taking a whole chunk of territory in the quick succession.
Now, I am going to be impressed if this command carrier uses all of his machine gun ammo, because that never happens. I mean, it's only 300 Bren rounds. Regardless, they always seem to die by the second they hit the field.
Yep, not the best frontline unit. Not the best frontline unit at all. Pack 38, yo, oof. That's going to kill the honey steward, and that's going to tip the balance back into Sombra's favor.
You know, I'm stunned. Usually the stewards are so much more impactful, but geez, he's lost 3 stewards, and it's not even done with A yet.
Yeah, these Pack 38 have been a real boon to Sombra at the moment. He's just managing to get the jump on the steward every single time.
Yep, you're right. Boon for the non-Brits, and a boondoggle for those Brit wannabes. As I've now insulted most of our Scottish population out there. But in the meantime, we are creeping closer and closer to Phase B. And I think we're going to finally see the first tickets of the battle coming in here in just a second. Pinned down on the infantry. There we go. Finally getting a 52-48.
There we go. Damn, it's been a 50-50 for that long. That's ridiculous. I didn't even notice that till now.
Well, the unfortunate thing right now, I think, is that even with this 6-pounder moving on in, there's no infantry to retard the advance.
Nope.
So, but there is a Churchill.
There's a Churchill. Fastball Churchill. He's still going to need some infantry, but Churchill's also pretty decent. Pretty decent call. But this is really going to open up the map from Sombra. As Sombra could possibly start advancing up north from his southern position and try to get around the Scots from behind with some, good old Panzer Grenadier half-track play.
Indeed, but they're going to discover that 6-pounder's in play in about 10 seconds or so, I would say.
Yeah, again, just creeping up awfully close to it.
Yeah, he's resighting slightly. Getting that first shot off is quite deadly, but the question is, will it be anything important? No.
And that's going to give...
Sorry to interrupt. There is an engagement to the north. There is going to be a push on the town. Germans getting kind of crunched a little bit, but there's not a ton of firepower up here for the Scots.
Yeah, I mean, you really need firepower with the Scots to actually bloody do anything. This person with infantry by himself is really a death sentence, especially against Panzer Grenadiers who are entrenched in a town, surrounded by an open field.
Indeed. But it looks like the defense will stabilize to the south. But the question is, will it happen just in time to prevent a +2?
That is a good question. Because it's very close to a +2. I'm guessing Sombra will start putting some pressure up north. That seems like a really good idea. I mean, we have Godview, so we know that northern side is pretty not well defended.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be a good call. You know, just run half track up the air with some angry Panzer Grenadier Germans and just start shooting everything.
You know, one thing I do like seeing this verbal Vin to the south.
Mm-hmm.
We saw actually Noah to the north too, so he's trying to make sure there's no gun runs happening.
Yeah. God, I do love that rubber end. Such a useful unit. Like, hey, you need to shoot down airplanes? Yeah, that's cool. I can also completely annihilate infantry on the ground. I can do that too.
And the occasional light vehicle too.
And light vehicles, yeah. It's such a useful unit. Because it's like, hey, you got some fire support and you got some AA all wrapped up in one nice, decently armoured package.
Indeed.
Too bad it doesn't have AP ammunition.
Yeah. And actually, I kind of wonder how that would have worked too. If it had been like a P2 kind of auto-cannon-y kind of thing.
Everything dies. If it doesn't die, it's just stunned up.
But the Churchill will come under fire. He is able to take out the first bit of annoyance.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine he's going to have a bit of a field day against these lighter vehicles.
Oh, he shall, as the other Pak 38 isn't really in any position, well, he's getting into a position almost to take a shot at the Churchill. But even then, it's not exactly the best angle.
I'm appreciating this attempt to start using some smoke and HE at the same time over here from that universal carrier. But I think the tonic is finally being brought to the front lines here with those 3 squads of infantry with the student recce.
Oh yeah, that's what he needs. That's what he needs.
But by the same token, if you look at the Germans, they're bringing in the first tank for their entire side here. Boy to Cromwell, I'm sorry. It's great and all that, but first real tank is being brought on in.
I mean, the Boy de Cromwell isn't even like a tank, it's just a pirate.
It's just a what?
It's just a pirated tank. It's been illegally downloaded.
You know, I thought you said that, and I was like, I don't know exactly what he meant.
Boita means pirate for those who don't know the German language.
Yes, indeed.
I just find that so funny they just called it pirated tank. It's so, like, blunt and to the point. But I always just think of, like, Captain Jack Sparrow or something in it. Like Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves, now there's a game I have not played at all. But I think it's just because I don't have Neo and crew.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like being Jack Sparrow at the time, so... Ooh, and we've referenced some panzers down to the south. To the north, nothing again. We're back to just kind of, you know, initial blurred lines here. And there's very little anti-tank now to the south.
Yeah.
I mean, infantry-based is, of course, fantastic, but you got to get nice and close for that.
This is, I think it's going to be really tough for Samson to try to get across that headline, as there's, like, it's a lot of light vehicles there, and Piats aren't really going to be enough. He needs some...
crew wounded.
Panzer Faust. Getting a shot there, I believe. Good hit, good hit.
And the next Peakrun's trying to get down there too, but he's going to engage instead. He's not going to... Oh, yeah. Wow.
Completely
blown to pieces.
Annihilated. And this is really going to turn into Sombra's favour once that Panzerwerfer comes online. That is a deadly unit, especially on this southern flank, because it's such a bloody choke point. That's really going to turn the tide.
Yes. We see more tanks? No, just more infantry. Makes sense, but at the same time, I guess, ooh, Command Churchill, that's going to be terrifying.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of armor. It's a lot of armor indeed.
But the first shots come out from the Panzerwerfer, and he's looking, and he's going to come awfully close to that 6-pounder.
But, no die, I think. No die. It's completely fine. It managed to bend the rockets around him so it wouldn't land directly on top. That's some, you know, magic moves. Yeah. Oh, the Churchill in the south just went round the corner, and now it's dead.
Yeah, I was going to say the P4 has the ability to apparently swing his bullets in that kind of trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
And the 6-pounder is additionally been hammered as well.
Oh, damn. Oh, damn. And you've got second Panzer IV, and these Panzer IVs are perfect on this map. As you know, you don't really need like Panthers or Tigers or, you know, Mr. Rittman in this case. Just some nice, reliable medium tanks, especially against Scotch. I mean, I do have the Churchill, which is a bit of a pain in the ass, but at close range, the Panzer IV can pen it. And with a bit of, you know, stunning up tactics with the Panzerwerfer, it's not too much of an issue if you manage to get close enough to pen the Churchill, that is.
Just so. I am a little bit nervous for that Command Churchill nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he'll have an initial field day, but there's so many extra targets down here, i.e. those half-tracks. But there's got to be something that should be able to get into range.
Yeah. I've been noticing the problem with Samson is that he either have infantry with no support, or he has, like, support, like tanks and stuff, with no infantry. And he's having a hard time, like, mashing up a big enough force to really get the push.
Well, he's going to try to get that changing right about now. Command Steward, he's got a bunch of infantry, he's got a Piat squad moving on in. So he might be trying to put together a real attack here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that Panzerwerfer, like you said before, is still right there.
Yeah, he really needs, like, artillery or just something to stun up everything on the other side of that tree line, because he's going to have a hell of a time trying to go across it head on.
I am completely amused by this Daimler armored car.
I'm helping.
You know, I kind of forget, I was looking at just now that 40mm. That, it's just such an ugly POS.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, technically, that's not the AEC, is it? No.
No, that's a different thing.
Making sure, but I was like, I'm pretty sure. Anyway.
Yeah.
We are going to have some Piat, so at least we have some kind of anti-tank here up at the front, as well as, I would think, some smokes. But there's also a Tiger coming in, too, so...
Oh, okay. Mr. Not Rittman coming in. And... I mean, really, at this point, Sombra just has such a huge and scary force down south, just numbers rise. Yeah, all he has to do is just get past this tree line, boom, he's pretty much got the entire map. Well, that's a bit over-exaggerating, but he's pretty much got
oh my gosh, he
chunk.
must have known they were in. Holy God.
Yeah, he knows the units, so yeah. He can see through the tree lines, he can see through the trees. And he's rushing in with the half-track. I said rushing with everything at that point. I mean, it's a bit ballsy, but now's the time.
Well, he's panicking right now. Samson says, Delilah, give me back my golden locks. Bringing in another Churchill. And Typhoon comes in and immediately says, screw it.
No. Not even going to touch that. I do like how Samson has reversed to Churchill's back a bit. That's a smart move. You don't want to keep him too close to the front line yet. Because that's going to be the pain in the ass. Yeah, Sombra has to deal with knocking out those two Churchills. At the same time, Sombra doesn't even really have to push. He's got +1.
He just chills, man.
He's chilling. He could push north. That'd be a cool idea.
You know, I'm amused by the fact that we just talked about how Samson did not go and put in sufficient infantry support. Meanwhile, Sombra over here, what's he got in the front line? 3 half-tracks, 4 half-tracks, a Rebelwind, and a captured tank.
It's mechanized infantry without the infantry. It's just mechanized.
Oh, the Tiger has a beautiful little shot in there. Wounds the Cromwell. Look at those sightline. It's so thin.
Yeah, it's tight. Tight as a tiger.
He's in range, but I think one more shot will freak him out. And... ooh.
He's going to have a little bit of trouble penetrating that fat British bastard, yeah. But enough to get him to bug off at least.
I would have thought it was been a little bit more difficult for the Churchill to go hunting, but maybe, yeah, I guess you're right. Another Panzerwerfer to the north, just in time to have more infantry deploy in the center part of the map. I think he's going to try to maybe start forcing south and begin to pinch this back off, but
Yeah,
he's... Go ahead, please.
That'd be a good idea.
I don't know how likely that's going to be. What I do know, Panzerwerfer to the south will have another rocket in the tubes soon enough. That'll be more than enough to devastate all of those Scots to the south.
Mm-hmm. Surely it's this one tree line has just been... It's pretty much been the Berlin rule here. This one bloody little tree line.
Actually, you want to look at something depressing? Switch over to the line of sight for Samson.
Oh, he's playing the blind mode.
Yeah, he's fighting ghosts, man.
Yeah, he really needs some... He does have recon in the middle at least, but he needs some recon down south, jeez.
Well, we are going to see the Panzerwerfer is going to hit that arriving infantry in the center part of the map. The spot troop is in a perfect position. Like, I want to go and give some props to Samson here, but wow. I mean, Sombra just is reading him like a book.
Mm-hmm. And I think he's ready for the infantry to get a little bit... There we go. Opens up fire of the Panzerwerfer. I really like that play, yeah.
3 sights and then kind of goes from there, yeah.
Yeah, it holds fire and then just reach for the perfect time and then... And
wow, yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much completely stunned up, and we've got the Panzer IV coming into the middle. Yeah, he's going to be a little bit too late to really take advantage of the suppression damage, but nonetheless that just shuts down that middle push. And we've got reinforcements coming into the middle as well. Some infantry.
Tiger can see a new target. I thought I was going to go after that MMG for a second, but nope.
Nope.
Here's a question. What could Samson have done differently here?
Probably, okay, maybe not take the MGs early on. That's a bit of a nitpick.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, could have just been a bit more aggressive. Like, the Avra's a really good choice in A phase, especially on this map, as it allows you to push.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you can shoot behind tree lines with the Avra.
Yep.
Because of, you know, the massive AoE damage, which is extremely bloody useful. I think just an Avra push down south, supported by some riflemen, just would have been a better call instead of a more lightly suppressed, lightly spread force. Like, he lightly battered his toast when he just needed to just, like, have, like, one piece of the toast extremely battered up, so slippery that, you know, if you were to drop it on the floor and pick it back up, you might as well just have, like, a huge chunk of butter on the floor. I don't know where I'm going with this analogy, so I'm just going to shut up.
All right. I was going to ask the question myself. It looks like Samson might be considering, you know, throwing in the towel soon, because he did call in a priest for last rites. But there's also 17-pounder though in a second Daimler, so let's not say everything's over just yet. But that's rarely a good thing when you see a priest come on in Phase C.
When I'm like on my deathbed and I'm like, okay, could you please call me the priest? I want it to be an M7. I want him to drive that into a building and there'd be like a vicar on like the little priest like machine gun area of the priest tank. Or
like a whole
SPG.
Kool-Aid man kind of thing going on?
Yeah, it just bursts through the wall and he gives me a last rite and I can die happy. And I can go to tank heaven.
Well, just like that P4's getting hammered by the 17-pounder, and I imagine, yep, one more shot and that's a kill there.
Yeah.
But the Germans have barely lost anything.
No, it's been a rather passive
one-sided match.
Means meant to keep the half-tracks alive, and then the half-tracks just become a scary big force. 17-pounder goes down.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just meant to push to past the 50% line and just chill out, get some points, read a book.
And kill some Churchills.
And kill some Churchills, yeah, there we go.
But wow, this has been a rather dominating performance. It's actually kind of strange for me. We didn't see Sombra very often through the initial parts of our SD experience. But this guy can certainly play. Mm-hmm. He's assisted every now and again, I would say, by maybe some small faux pas. But regardless, he knows how to do it. And that's going to be it. Samson does throw in the towel. So in just under 24 minutes, yep, Sombra cuts his hair, shaves that head, and those luscious locks fall to the floor. You know, another gripe just on my side might have been a better idea, just as a suggestion to Samson, to if he was going to lose one tank to the north, at that point start injecting the ranged material. I mean, you know what the anti-tank gun is. Maybe not a better idea to start trying to work the other side necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's just me, just thinking out loud.
Yeah, looking at the kill was nothing really too crazy from the Scots, to be honest. But losses, boy, the Cromwell blew up a lot of stuff, and that's really it.
Yeah, kind of embarrassing when the Germans use your own stuff against you.
Mm-hmm. And it's the most effective unit.
Very much so.
MVP.
But kind of an open and shut, guys. We wanted to ease it back into the whole, SD Normandy kind of material for 2019. But I think, Frank, correct me if I'm wrong. Do we have a 2v2?
I believe next match is a 2v2.
I was saying, and our old friend Harry Spider's coming in for that one too, I think.
Indeed,
right?
he's going to be crawling his way back in.
Yeah, great. So, folks, well, if you're going to be going through some dark places, bring a bright light. But for right now, I think it's going to do it for us. So I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangru. Take it easy.